For TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. Israel Defense Forces withdraw from AlSHIFA Hospital, leaving it completely destroyed and dozens dead. Recep Tayyip Erdogan suffers major defeat in Turkey's election. Sarawak's electricity grid goes online within this year. The Israel Defense Forces (IDF) have withdrawn from Al-Shifa, Gaza's largest hospital complex, after an intensive two-week military operation, leaving it completely demolished and dozens of charred bodies. Israeli forces, before withdrawing, burned down all the buildings of the Shifa hospital, rendering it completely non-operational. Witnesses say the surgical floors and rooms of the hospital were completely demolished, the rest were burned down, and the main reception and emergency buildings were set on fire, destroying all medical equipment inside.
Witnesses also said that Israeli forces additionally burned down the kidney, maternity, morgue, cancer and burn units and demolished the outpatient clinic building.
أخي الكريم، هذه المنطقة كانت مغلقة بالكامل، لذلك المعلومات الموجودة لدينا كانت شحيحة جدا. أيضا الآن الاتصالات مقطوعة، لا نستطيع أن نقدر ما الذي جرى، لكننا واقعيا نقول أن محيط مستشفى الشفاء حرق بالكامل، وهو الآن يعني متوقف عن الخدمة، وطواقم الدفاع المدني تعمل في الميدان الآن للتخفيف، ولكن الحدث كبير.
The Gazan Health Ministry reported that dozens of bodies, some of them decomposed, have been recovered from in and around the Al-Shifa medical complex. The ministry also said that about 3,000 people were inside Al-Shifa when the IDF began its raid on March 18th, and that those attempting to leave were being targeted by snipers and fire from helicopters. Meanwhile, a doctor at Al-Shifa said more than 20 bodies had been recovered, some crushed by military vehicles. The hospital came under siege on March 18th, and since then, Israeli forces killed more than 400 Palestinians and demolished over 1,050 homes during the 14-day raid on Al-Shifa. Allegedly, Israel said it recovered large stockpiles of weapons, explosives, and cash from Al-Shifa, but no evidence has been produced so far.
Turkey's main opposition party, the Republican People's Party (CHP), has claimed victory in Istanbul and Ankara in local elections. It inflicted the biggest defeat on President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and his Justice and Development Party (AK Party) in more than 2 decades. With over 95% of the ballot boxes tallied in Istanbul on Sunday, Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu of the CHP joyfully announced his victory, surpassing the governing AK Party candidate by an impressive margin of over 1 million votes.
The results are a significant blow for Erdogan, who had hoped to regain control of the cities less than a year after he claimed a third term as president. The 70-year-old Erdogan had launched an all-out personal campaign to win back Istanbul, the economic powerhouse where he was once mayor. Rampant inflation and an economic crisis have, however, hit confidence in the ruling party. Large crowds filled the square outside the opposition party's Istanbul city headquarters, waving Turkish flags and lighting torches to celebrate the result. After casting his vote, İmamoğlu emerged to applause and chants of "Everything will be fine," the slogan he used when he first took the city hall from the AKP in 2019. The 52-year-old is increasingly seen as the biggest rival to Erdogan's AKP ahead of the next presidential election in 2028.
Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, hopes that the construction of the Sarawak Cancer Centre can be accelerated following the announced collaboration between the Sarawak and federal government. Under this collaboration, he said, the Sarawak government will initiate the construction project and subsequently, the federal government will cover the construction cost.
Now we are almost there because Premier Abanjo wants to make sure that people in Sarawak, since Sarawak government has money, we build first, then pay us later.
He stressed that the construction should not be delayed any further in order to meet the needs of cancer patients in Sarawak. Previously, Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim revealed that Sarawak became the first state government to cover the initial costs of federal projects in order to accelerate their execution. He said this arrangement with the federal government would begin with the implementation of the Sarawak Cancer Centre project located near the Sarawak Heart Centre. The new implementation method for the project was approved during his meeting with the Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Johari Tun Openg, and the state government. Meanwhile, Dr. Sim, who is also the State Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, said he has requested the Director of the Sarawak Health Department to discuss with the Ministry on the conditions of outdated clinics in Sarawak. Sarawak Governor Tun Pehin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar is fully supportive of the development of youth skills in the education sector. According to CEO of Kuching Skills College, Norbert Sulang, the governor envisions the college to empower youth in the state, especially youth residing in rural areas.
Okay, and then we focus more on TVS dalam seni kulineri, di mana Tun have a passionate dalam seni kulineri and also dalam teknologi drone. So, and then juga pada kunjungan ini juga pihak kami telah mendengar pandangan dan juga pesanan daripada Tuan Yang terutama dengan kemana ke hala tuju negeri Sarawak seterusnya dan memberi nasihat kepada kami supaya kolej kami akan lebih aktif lagi pada masa yang akan datang untuk bersama-sama untuk menolong para belia Sarawak, especially daripada kawasan luar bandar.
Sulan said this was expressed by Tun Dr. Wan Junaidi during a courtesy call by Kuching Skills College at the Astana Negeri earlier today. Also present during the visit were Kuching Skills College's Head of Academics and Training, Siti Khairunisa, as well as senior instructors Faribirds Kandai and Jess Balanki. Kuching Skills College currently offers diploma programs such as the Diploma of Culinary Arts, Vocational Training Charitable Trust VTCT Hospitality Diploma, as well as IR4 Makerspace Upskilling programs. Kuching continues to hold the crown as the most affordable tourist destination in the nation, as proclaimed by digital travel platform Agoda. In a statement earlier today, Agoda said Kuching has the most competitive hotel rates in April and May. Associate Vice President of Southeast Asia at Agoda, Anrit Kazul, said the months of April and May are the best time to plan holidays for the upcoming festive season. Meanwhile, the destinations with the cheapest average accommodation rates across 8 Asian markets are Udon Thani in Thailand, Surabaya in Indonesia, Hue in Vietnam, Kuching, Malaysia, Iloilo in the Philippines, Bengaluru in India, Narita in Japan, and Kaohsiung in Taiwan. A total of 20 political secretaries to Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Johari Tun Openg took their oath of office in his presence earlier today. 13 of them are reappointments, while the remaining 7 are new appointments. The oath-taking ceremony was led by Petrus Igat Matias, Sarkawi Suhaili, Romeo Christopher Tegong, Frida Osman, Dayang Nur Fizawati Abang Abdul Karim, Susan Clement Ingun, Abdul Samad Keter Gani, John Nigor, Damin Reject, Said Asmi Wan Junaidi, Awangku Jinal Abidin Datu Pengiran Jawa, Fung Ko Shun Alliance Brian Fung, and Niponi Undek. For Joshua Ting Fu Ying, he was ecstatic to have been given the mandate for the position. The 7 new appointments are Hajiz Japar Labau, Dominic Nurang Ajang, Watson Awan Jalal, Colin Patan, Afiq Fakhri Ibrahim, Thomas Balan Bang, and Johua Ting Fu Ying.
Harap saya boleh isu-isu grassroots. I wish to bring out all the issue grassroots kepada yang agency government yang related. Also, I'd like to sampai message yang polisi yang kami buat dekat Dung Sarawak sana, supaya saya boleh bring out the message more clearly to the grassroots also.
Also present were Deputy Premiers Dato' Amar Douglas Ugah Embas and Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Sarawak State Secretary Dato' Amar Muhammad Abu Bakar Marzuki, as well as Political Secretary General to Sarawak Premier Fazruddin Abdul Rahman. Coming up right after the break, Prime Minister Anwar announces Duit Raya for federal civil servants and pensioners. And in world news, Russia calls off rescue of 13 trapped miners. Right here on TVS Nightline, stay tuned. Hello there and welcome back. Now, civil servants on grade 56 and below, including contract appointees, will receive a special Aidilfitri financial assistance of 500 ringgit. Meanwhile, 250 ringgit would be paid to government retirees, including pensionable and non-pensionable veterans. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim, who announced the matter earlier today, said the financial aid will be paid out this Friday.
InsyaAllah saya telah maklum kepada perbendaraan supaya BKK Aidilfitri disalurkan mulai Jumaat ini 5 April 2024.
He said this when addressing the monthly assembly of the Prime Minister's department earlier today. The announcement came despite Anwar claiming on March 24 that there would be no bonuses for civil servants in conjunction with the upcoming Hari Raya Aidilfitri celebration. The Finance Ministry will be rolling out payments for Phase 2 of the Sumbangan Tunai Rahmah STR on Wednesday, April 3rd to all Malaysians registered under its database. Prime Minister Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim said the government will continue implementing the initiative, and this year a total of 9 million recipients, or 60% adults, have benefited from the assistance.
This year, the government has allocated a total of 10 billion ringgit for STR, which is 2 billion ringgit more than the 8 billion ringgit allocated in 2023.
Itu grant secara langsung kepada rakyat. Maknanya kadar maksimum kalau tahun 2023 RM3,100 satu keluarga. Sekarang RM3,700.
He spoke during the Prime Minister's Department Monthly Assembly earlier today. Moreover, the same assistance for single individuals has also been increased to 500 ringgit from 350 ringgit in the previous year.
Ya, jadi fasa 1 kita dah bayar bulan Januari RM500. Dan insya-Allah pada fasa 2 kita akan salurkan pada 3 April. Ya. Jadi itu pun ditingkatkan daripada 1.26 bilion ringgit kepada 1.5 bilion ringgit.
Previously, Phase 1 of the STR was channeled to 8.2 million recipients via bank transfer and cash through Bank Simpanan Nasional BSN in stages. Those in the 2,500 ringgit and below income bracket will receive 500 ringgit, while those in the 2,501 ringgit to 5,000 ringgit income bracket will receive from 100 ringgit to 300 ringgit. Senior citizens with no spouse and unmarried individuals will receive 150 ringgit and 100 ringgit respectively.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environmental Sustainability (NRECC) is currently studying the drafting of legislation to address plastic pollution in a comprehensive manner. Its Minister Nik Nazmi Nik Ahmad said current laws are fragmented and their implementation by local authorities is inconsistent, which is tailored to suit specific localities. He noted that this situation renders nationwide efforts to combat plastic pollution ineffective, leading to other problems such as floods and microplastics in the food chain.
But I think it's been some years, the first states that started with pollution charges for plastic bags were Selangor and Penang, I think 2009 or 2010. So that's more than 10 years ago. So I think we need to relook whether we now need to move at a national level together to overcome this problem, because we think that the problem is becoming more prevalent, and we know that the quantity of plastics in our rivers and our oceans, it contributes to our floods, it contributes to the prevalence of microplastics in our food chain.
He was speaking to reporters when attending the Pathways to Plastic Neutrality, Collaborative Action and Innovative Solutions program organized by Yayasan Hijau with University Malaysia Sarawak, UNIMAS, earlier today. According to him, one of the major challenges in Malaysia to reduce single-use plastic consumption is the informal sector, such as Ramadan bazaars and night markets, which extensively use plastic. Malaysia is one of the top 10 countries in the world that dispose of the most plastic waste into the sea, based on a survey conducted by UK energy needs supplier Utility Bidder. Rubber smallholders in Sabah and Sarawak will be receiving the Rubber Production Incentive (IPG) throughout the whole month of April. The incentive, according to the Malaysia Rubber Board, will be based on what was produced in the last month and will only be applicable if the average monthly farm gate price of cup lump rubber is priced at 3 ringgit per kilogram or below. In March, the average farm gate price for cup lumps is 3 ringgit and 20 cents per kilogram for Peninsular Malaysia, 2 ringgit and 85 cents per kilogram for Sabah, and 2 ringgit 70 cents per kilogram for Sarawak. Therefore, only smallholders in Sabah and Sarawak receive payments for the IPG incentive. For Sabah, the March IPG rate for rubber cup lump and latex is 15 cents per kilogram for 50% dry rubber content DRC and 30 cents per kilogram for 100% DRC. As for Sarawak, the rate is 30 cents per kilogram for 50% DRC and 60 cents per kilogram for 100% DRC. Meanwhile, the IPG rate for latex is 90 cents per kilogram for 100% DRC. The state electricity grid system currently connecting Limbang and LAWAS districts is anticipated to see enhancement in both usage capacity and the performance of electricity supply. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Wang Tengah Ali Hassan said the grid connection scheduled for completion this year will also be more stable and resolve the frequent power supply interruptions.
Kita harap ini akan dapat diselesaikan dan supaya Limbang dan LAWAS ini akan dapat di-connect terus kepada state grid, dan ini memberi impact yang begitu besar kita, dan dengan itu kita dapat extend our electricity coverage kepada kampung-kampung, rumah-rumah panjang, ya. Dan kita juga memerlukan ini supaya kita dapat membekalkan power ini ke Sabah.
He said this when met by reporters after the iftar ceremony and donation presentation to the disabled and orphans or ASNAF organized by Sarawak Energy Berhad SEB in Lawas on Sunday. According to Tengah, the project had experienced some delays but should be ready by the end of this year. He further said that a committee has been established to ensure the project is ready within this year. On another development, Tengah said the northern region of Sarawak is a potentially viable area to develop a floating solar farm to supply energy to the local population. The Minister of Natural Resources and Urban Development said Sarawak's first floating solar farm, developed by Sarawak Energy Berhad, located at the Batang Ai hydroelectric plant, will become the main energy blend between hydro and solar energy. He said the warm climate in Miri, Limbang and Lawas is conducive to the development of solar energy plants.
Ini mempunyai potensi yang besar. Di ECB sudah ada pilot project, that is floating solar di empangan Batang Ai itu. Pilot project dan yang dapat mengeluarkan power 50 megawatt. Jadi on floating solar kita mempunyai potensi yang besar. Hydro dam kita berapa dah Bakun, Murun, coming up Bale. Jadi dan on land berdasarkan kajian yang dibuat yang mempunyai potensi yang besar untuk solar on land di bahagian kita ini, Limbang dan Lawas ini terutama sekali.
Russian emergency responders have concluded the arduous rescue operation at a mine in the Far East, where 13 workers have been trapped for 2 weeks. The incident unfolded on March 18 when a landslide struck the Pioneer Gold Mine, burying the miners more than 120 meters beneath the Earth's surface. Initial search efforts revealed flooded caverns, dampening hopes for the survival of the trapped miners and raising fears of casualties resulting from the landslide.
According to operator Pokrovsky Mine, after exhaustive efforts, a collective decision was reached on April 1st to conclude the rescue operation at the Pioneer Mine in Russia's Amur region near the border with China. He added that the findings from drilling operations indicated that the areas potentially housing the miners are inundated with rock and water. Continuing the operation would pose grave risk to the lives of both rescuers and mine personnel due to the looming threat of further collapse. Renowned as one of the world's largest and most productive gold mines, the Pioneer Mine has been a cornerstone of Russia's mining industry. Authorities in the Amur region have launched an investigation into possible safety breaches. Last week, the mine's managing director was apprehended by Russia's investigative committee, which is responsible for probing significant crimes. Incidents at mines remain all too frequent in Russia, with lax safety standards and inadequate enforcement often cited as contributing factors to multiple tragedies.
Wrapping up the Nightline. Despite fierce objections from opposition politicians and medical associations, Germany became the biggest EU country to legalize recreational cannabis. Under the first step in the much-debated new law, adults over 18 are now allowed to carry 25 grams of dried cannabis and cultivate up to 3 marijuana plants at home.
The changes leave Germany with some of the most liberal cannabis laws in Europe, alongside Malta and Luxembourg, which legalized recreational use in 2021 and 2023 respectively. Meanwhile, the Netherlands, known for its permissive attitude to the drug, has in recent years taken a stricter approach to counter cannabis tourism. As the next step in the legal reform, from July 1st, it will be possible to legally obtain weed through cannabis clubs in the country. These regulated associations will be allowed to have up to 500 members each and will be able to distribute up to 50 grams of cannabis per person per month.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines, anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvsarawak.my or follow us on our social media platforms. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.